Hey everybody. So today we're going to make a roasted chicken quarter and homemade mashed potatoes and then serve it with some frozen broccoli. Frozen is just as good as fresh. I don't care what anyone else says. When it comes to veggies, frozen is fine. And it's a heck of a lot easier. It's a lot quicker. So here are the ingredients you're going to need. We have here our chicken quarter. Now, obviously, if you have a family that's more than just yourself, you're going to use more than one of these. I am only cooking one because it's just me and I don't want to be wasteful. So we got one chicken quarter that's been rinsed off and then patted dry. This is my bag of herbs that are going to be rubbed all over it, and those consist of paprika, ground turmeric, basil, onion powder, chopped onion, garlic powder, rosemary, and salt and pepper. For the potatoes, I have 4 small russet potatoes. We've got butter, whole milk. You can use heavy cream, which most people do, but since I add sour cream, I don't need the heavy cream. Anyways, they will turn out fantastic. You just wait and see. So first we're going to season the chicken and get that rub all over it. Okay. And I am going to use all of this rub. Just going to massage it in. Yes, I see I'm making a mess, but that's okay because it's my house. And I'm allowed. See how the bottom's still a little wet? That's okay. All right. So now that that's got all its seasoning on, we are going to insert butter underneath the skin to help crisp it up and add flavor. It'll also help keep it juicy. So we're just putting some butters under there. I love butter, so I'm going to put a lot of it all throughout it. All right. All right, everyone got that so far? All right, so this is seasoned now. And I'm going to let this sit while I prepare the potatoes. All right, so with the potatoes, we're going to peel them all. Okay. We don't need the skin. If you were cooking like baby reds, you could leave the skin on it. It wouldn't make a difference. In fact, it'd probably taste really good. But we are not leaving the skins on. Once these are all shaved and clean, we will cut them up into small squares, and then we're going to put them in a pot of cold water. It's important that you start with cold and not boiling because you want them to cook evenly. And if you start with hot water, some of the potatoes might be extra cold, some of them might not be, and then they just don't cook at the same rate. And normally I don't say this, but in this case, we want naked potatoes. I actually think this is a lot of fun. I don't mind this kind of stuff because it keeps my mind busy. All right, so we got 2 more, and then we will go on to dicing. All right, so the potatoes are peeled. We're going to just cut these into smaller pieces. And again, this is just so they cook fast. You don't have to worry about sizes being precise because it's all getting mashed up anyways. I'm going to do the same thing for all 4 potatoes. Now, obviously, if there's more than just you, you're going to make more than just 4 potatoes for this. But that's okay. We're going to put them in this pot. Notice there's nothing in it but the potatoes so far. Okay, see? And we're going to do the same thing with each of these potatoes. All right, now that the potatoes are all cubed up, we're going to add cold water, and then these will go on the stove. You're going to boil them for about 15 minutes or until the fork just passes right through them real easy, okay? All right, so I've lined the bottom of my pan with some parchment, and that's just not only to help it from sticking, but it'll make cleanup a little bit easier. Just a little, just a little. We got our chicken here, which, by the way, even though it's not cooked, the herbs and everything on it, oh my God, smells so good. Like, wow. All right, so I'm going to place the chicken in there. Now, if you had more pieces, you'd obviously use a bigger pan. So, like I said, I'm just making this for one, and that's plenty. That's big enough. So once your oven is preheated to 425, you're going to put the chicken in at 425 and leave it in for about 10 minutes. And that's just to get the skin started. Then you're going to turn the oven down to 400, and that's when you're going to cook it for an additional 40 minutes or so. Just make sure that when you think it's done, use a thermometer of some sort, preferably an instant read, and make sure it's at least 165 in temperature. All right, here is the frozen broccoli that we're going to use, or at least I'm going to use. I don't need a ton, so I didn't put a ton in there. I'm only going to add about not even a fourth of just a little bit of water. Maybe just to cover the bottom of the pan, okay? And that'll actually help to steam it as opposed to boil it. I don't like it when it's boiled. It's too squishy. Now, when it comes to mashing potatoes, you're going to want to use a hand mixer or a blender or something. Don't do it, because that'll actually make them gummy, and it'll be more like a paste as opposed to a fluffy, delicious, potato-y cloud in your mouth. So I'm going to use a potato masher, which looks like this. Okay, so that's a potato masher. Simple enough, right? So as soon as the potatoes are boiling and they've gone through their 15 minutes of cooking, we're going to drain them. We're going to dry them because you don't want it being watery and soupy. You want the potatoes to be soft but dry, okay? All right, so it has been 10 minutes, and we are going to turn the oven down to 400. Okay, now that the potatoes are boiling, you're going to set your timer for about 15 minutes. All right, so your potatoes have been drained and dried. Yes, they're still steamed, but that's okay. They're supposed to be. Now what we're going to do is, now I'm going to season it before I mash it with some salt and, of course, some pepper. Doesn't need a ton. Of course, it all depends on how many people you're cooking for. Now I'm going to put in a tablespoon and a half of butter. There's one and a half, and about a quarter of a cup of milk. Okay, and then we are going to add our sour cream. I'd say about maybe 3 tablespoons. And then we're going to use our potato masher, and we are just going to mash that all together until it's nice and creamy and fluffy and delicious. See how easy that mashes? I mean, it's already like mashed potatoes. See how fluffy that is. They're creamy and delicious. All right. So those are the potatoes. I'm going to cover those and let those stay warm while we finish up everything else. All right. So like you can see, there's just a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan for the broccoli. And then I am going to add some butter to the bottom of that because that'll help flavor it as it cooks. I will close it, and then I will bring that to a simmer so that the water steams the broccoli and thaws it out, cooks it, and makes it nice and tasty. I have taken the chicken out of the oven. It has been roughly about 40 minutes more. As you can see, there it is. Now we are going to put it on here just to let it rest for about 10 minutes. And that's just so it maintains its juiciness once you do cut into it. Okay? So while that's resting for 10 minutes, now we can steam that broccoli and everything will be ready at the same time. Sound good? I hope so. And there you have it, folks. Roasted herb chicken with homemade mashed potatoes and steamed broccoli. And listen to the crust if you can. See, it's got a nice crust on it. It's roasted real nice. Again, make sure you check to see that it's 165 degrees internally so that it's safe, because you don't want to get sick. And there you have it, folks. Super easy. Really, really, really delicious. And please make it at home. Drop me some comments and let me know how it turned out for you. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time.